And most importantly, no compromise on our foundational principles. This is America's Voice Now.
Find America's Voice Now on Facebook and at americasvoicenow.org. Here's Michael Evans.
Good morning, America. You're listening to America's Voice Now. This is our third segment this morning, and our final segment will be running until 9 a.m. Appreciate you being with us and taking time out of your day. We're discussing a number of issues this morning, not the least of which is we covered Benghazi this morning and the damage that they did to our nation on a daily basis. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Mike, where's that place on Route 62 again? Give me the name of that place and where they are. I'm going to go down there this morning.
It's Ozark Mountain Self-Reliance.
Okay.
And their website is Ozark, MTN, like an abbreviation from mountain, Self-Reliance.
Yeah, but they're on 62, right?
Yeah, they're on Highway 62. As you're going in towards Mountain Home, before you get to the Walmart light, they're on the left. Okay. If you're coming from the West Plains area. Their phone number is 870-492-4030. It's 870-492-4030. What we were talking about before in the last segment was that they carry a number of products that are outstanding. One is that essential oils, and the other is those fish antibiotics, which are for fish only, of course. And sometimes fish have legs. But, we were talking during the break. Go ahead, caller. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, it's on line of what you're talking about. I have a friend whose wife is of Indian descent, and her grandparents live in India. And getting to the short form of this is that he tells me you can walk into any pharmacy over there and get about any antibiotic you want.
Right. Here we keep the medical industrial complex alive.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with that.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. That's because the AMA and the medical establishment is so firmly entrenched and so thoroughly corrupted our Congress that you can't get any kind of assistance for yourself medically without going to a doctor. They want you totally captive in terms of being able to. I mean, they're warning to us as well. We can't just give everybody antibiotics because people would take antibiotics for every little cold and sniffle they had, and we'd put ourselves in a position where superbugs could grow. Well, let me tell you something. Superbugs are all over the place anyway. They're growing by leaps and bounds. Go look at what's going on in China right now with these SARS variant viruses and these H1N1 viruses and all of that. That's not
its use on large hog farms and such.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bunch of nonsense. All it really is another lie to keep us tied to a medical industrial complex where you have to go to the doctor, and that doctor has an opportunity to reach into your pocket while you feel as if you can't, while you're indoctrinated with the principle that you have no intelligence and no critical thinking skills of your own.
And I will tell you that over the years, not to denigrate doctors at all, but some of the best medical care that I have received from physicians' assistants and licensed nurse practitioners.
Yeah. I'm going to give you another example, by the way, that just leads me to this point, and that is that, did you know our medics who are coming back from working overseas are not allowed to practice medicine here because they don't have a license? Now, here you are.
Can't even give you a Band-Aid.
Nope. You've got a guy who was over there, tying off severed limbs, right? And holding a guy's guts in while they load him on a stretcher and saving his life. And, no one had to deal with sucking chest wounds and, battle wounds, and he can't work as a nurse. I mean, because he doesn't have the proper piece of sheepskin. I mean, it's embarrassing. It really is.
Yeah, and we've got a shortage of healthcare.
And we got a shortage of healthcare, right?
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a guy who's got enough medical training that he's seen enough trauma that you can't get that kind of trauma in 10 years in a major trauma center in a major city, and he's gotten it in 4 years or 3 years of overseas service, and he comes over here and he's got to work at McDonald's. He's got to triage burgers.
Sad.
I mean, it's beyond comprehension. Anyway, that Ozark Mountain Self-Reliance is a good place. They're good people. They're very honest, and they've got honor and integrity, and they're also friends of mine. And I believe strongly in what they're doing. They believe in self-reliance and self-sufficiency, and you won't go wrong with working with them. I can tell you that. And whether it's, you're looking for something that is something along the self-reliance or the survival angle, they've got it all down there. So make sure that you visit those folks. It's a half mile east of Walmart on Route 62. And the address is actually 3225 Route 62, 870-492-4030. Ask for Brian or Jared, and both of those guys will be very helpful to you. I'm reminded too that I was talking about Kevin over at the battery station before. He's got this liquid vitamin over there, and that helps you to get off. I know I went on a rant once about while we're talking on medical about people getting off of these antidepressants because 40% of America is numbed out by all of this, Prozac and all of these antidepressants that we're shoveling into America, and the government promotes that because it wants you numb, and it wants, why? And by the way, you'll recognize a pattern here. One of the things that happens in a society like ours is that there are actually two societies, the law-abiding society and the non-law-abiding. And the law-abiding society goes about curing their ills in a legal way. And so they go to the doctor, and the doctor says, oh, sure, you're just depressed. You're having a bad day. You got the blues. The world's coming apart. You've lost your job. Your family's coming apart at the seams because of it. And so here's a couple of happy pills. And he hands you a prescription for Prozac or something else, Paxil, some other nonsense. Well, the illegal side of the fence self-medicates themselves the same way. They just do it with illegal drugs that are euphoric, and our government is happy with that principle and that policy, and I'll tell you why. Because a numb population will not rise up against them with either ballots or bullets, and they are happy to put the chains on their own wrists, and that is why our medical system, our medical society, and our government so heavily promotes the use of these antidepressants. These things are, and I got to tell you, every one of these, when you talk about deleterious effects, I know you hate that word, Mike, but when you talk about deleterious effects to your system, these antidepressants rewire your brain. And they rewire your brain in a way that makes you not cognizant of the alarm bells that are going off all around you. And so what ends up happening is all of these things are happening right in front of your face. And because you're in this, and I don't mean a euphoric in the terms of like you would get from an illegal drug, but you're in this utopian state of all will work out in the end mentality, while simultaneously you're marching right into the open oven door. I mean, I don't get it. It's absurd. And America is... there were some statistics that just recently came out that said that, I've forgotten now even the numbers, but the ages of women between 40 and 50, 40% of those women in the United States between the ages of 40 and 50, almost half are on some sort of an antidepressant. And
welcome to Prozac Nation.
And 20% of all of our children, are on antidepressants.
But now that's just the ones that are medicated legally.
But we're rewiring their minds when they haven't even developed. And so I talked one morning about, going down to see Kevin over at the battery station. He's got this stuff that helps you get off of the antidepressant. It helps you. And somebody called up and actually called the station and said, what, is he practicing medicine without a license because he's telling people to get off these medications? I'm not a doctor. I don't purport to be. And if you're dumb enough to think that my word is medical advice, then obviously you've apparently overdosed on your own Prozac. Because you'll believe just damn near anything at that point, I can tell you. But, look, the simple truth is this. Get off of whatever kinds of mind-altering substance you're on. Get off of it. Whatever that mind-altering substance is. If you're a pot smoker and you are a chronic pothead, let me tell you, your number one problem is apathy. You have absolutely no focus and vision and drive because all you're interested in is getting buzzed. And when you are high, you are just, everything is mañana man. I'll get to it tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes. 10 years later, you wake up and you're in the same position you were in 10 years ago. Nothing's changed. Your life is the same, and you've accomplished nothing.
Rumpelstiltskin.
What the hell happened?
Yeah.
Wondering where it all has gone. And, these people who are sitting here, taking methamphetamine and are, you don't have to be a medical professional to look at the devastating effects of that. I mean, type in meth before and after and look at the pictures of the people who take it.
Oh, you got to love a drug, though, that changes your DNA.
I mean, we're talking about people that, go from these beautiful and vibrant and youthful and gifted people to these, you ever watch that series, The Living Dead or The Walking Dead?
Oh, yeah.
That's what they remind me of. They're like The Walking Dead, They got these sores all over them, open sores and all that nonsense, and their brains are scrambled.
Zombies.
I mean, scrambled, And this Prozac stuff is, and these legal means, if you will, of filling up our heads with all of and rewiring the way the brain functions. Let me tell you something. Mankind genetically is got a different way of functioning from the animals, right? We have this thing called sentience, and if we abandon that in this effort to be nothing other than an instinctual animal, then we've lost all grasp on humanity. We're going to take a break. Thank you for the call, by the way. If we lose our humanity
self-awareness
and our self-awareness, then we are nothing more than a dog or a cat or a squirrel. And that's what, that's where we're headed, folks. I don't know what else to think. We'll be back in just a minute. You're listening to America's Voice Now.
If you're looking for a new or used pistol, shotgun, or rifle, West Plains Pawn & Gun has over 450 firearms in stock. All your favorite models like Beretta, Glock, Smith & Wesson, Kimber, and many, many more. West Plains Pawn & Gun is also a Class 3 arms dealer, so if they don't have it on the shelf, West Plains Pawn & Gun can order it for you. Even those hard-to-get guns. West Plains Pawn & Gun, 1713 U.S. Highway 160 West in West Plains, or online at westplainspawn.com.
It's a call and make your voice heard on the biggest issues making headlines today, or on absolutely anything in your head. Every call I get goes on the air totally unscreened. It's unpredictable and uncensored, and you'll never know what to expect. Anything can and will happen on the next Alan Colmes Show.
And that's who you can catch every weeknight, 9 till midnight. The Alan Colmes Show on the Ozarks Best News Talk, 107.1 The Point, Monday through Friday.
All right, we're back. We've got a caller on hold. I'm wearing my tinfoil hat now because apparently people believe that you have to have a medical license to recognize that substances you're taking into your body can be harmful to you. And so for those of you who are streaming on video, get off the floor. I know you're rolling on the floor laughing out loud. That's RFLOL. And for those of you who don't have access to a camera, oh well, you're just missing it. I've been gifted with this wonderful tinfoil hat, and by a listener, and I'm proudly wearing it. Are you watching on video?
No, but this is Cassandra.
Oh, so you've seen this tinfoil hat, have you? I am wearing it, and I kid you not, folks. This is like a hat that is like like a top hat with a cone on the top and a flag that is upside down because our nation is in distress. And it has two horns sticking out, the left and the right. And it is because I grabbed the bull by the horns. We can go on and on and on with this analogy. And it is it's covered in tin foil so that I can pick up the Vigo waves that are being broadcast upon us every day. I'm kidding about the Vigo waves, folks. I am actually wearing this, and I'm on camera. So if you would like to see this hat, folks, you can go to americasvoicenow.org and click on the big button that says Watch Live, and I will wear it for the remainder of this hour. I was saying to the guys, my staff infection, who is here with me today, one of whom belongs to you, I might add, and one of the germs which belongs to you. And I was I was saying that I'm going to start doing these like 5-minute YouTube shorts, because nobody wants to sit through an hour of my diatribe, right? So I'm going to start doing these 5-minute shorts, and I'm going to wear this hat for a few of them because I guarantee it will be the internet sensation that will make them go viral, and I'll get famous overnight, and then people will start to actually, flock in from around the world. They'll have people logging on from like the Ukraine watching the show.
Well, I'm sure you look like a true warrior with that hat on, Mike.
This is my warrior visage, boy, I'll tell you. Let me put my warrior face on.
Yeah, it gives you probably a Viking-ish type look.
Yeah, Viking-ish. Ish is the key operative word there, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm grateful for the designer who created this hat for me.
Actually, Mr. Ed was more the designer. I was just more the finisher.
I got you. Well, it was a tag team effort, and I'm appreciative of it. Now, here's the only problem. We've got to come up with a variant that allows me to wear my headphones simultaneously, because...
Oh, well, see, what you do is you turn your headphones upside down and just slide them under your chin and up on your ears.
I'm actually wearing my headphones now, and I got to tell you, this is a picture that's worth 10,000 words, folks.
I bet it is.
First of all, I have a face made for radio, but when I combine it with this hat, and these rabbit ears, I look like an absolute Bellevue client. So, for all of those of you who think I am a tinfoil hat broadcasting, you're right.
I'll bet you sit at the cool table.
Baby,
at the mental institution cafeteria.
Let me tell you something. With this hat, every Prozacian is walking up to me saying, "Wow, dude."
That's not a medical device, is it?
No. It's not a medical device because I cannot, with my disclaimer, I cannot give out medical advice. So, therefore, it's not.
But, I thought that the purpose of the tinfoil was to keep the V waves out of your head.
Well, you see, with this particular device, these two antennae...
Oh, it channels.
These two antennae pick up the Vigo waves and translate them directly into my synapse.
Wow.
My staph infection just looked at me, and they both their jaws were open, and I could have flicked ice cubes over there.
Well, as long as your synapse does not get overcharged, we're okay, right?
Right.
Is that a synapse or
a synapse, as in singular? A synapse.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just have to call you Ultra Synapse.
There you go. I'm going to come up with a name for this. What did I say the name was before? I came up with it, and they thought it was great. Now they've forgotten it, so they have a short-term memory problem.
Just have to write things
down. I tell you what.
That's all the narcotics.
You got to write it down.
Short-term memory loss.
Well, I will tell you one thing, Mike, though. I have a real appreciation, as I'm sure our listeners do, for all the brains that are underneath that hat.
Well, those were a gift. I can claim no involvement in that.
Yeah.
And guess what? There are 7 million similar gifts on the planet, or 7 billion, similar gifts on the planet. It's just that many of us refuse to acknowledge and use their gift.
Yeah, but there's only one hat like that, buddy.
That's true. There is only one hat like this. You know,
Hey, maybe you could start manufacturing those, Mike, and just
emblazon our logo right across the front. There you go.
There you go.
Put these into mass production. Well, listen, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your magnificent gift.
Oh, well, you're just so welcome. You're just so welcome. I did. Y'all were talking about health, and I did want to recommend a book.
Okay.
It's called Over the Counter Natural Cures by Shane Ellison, and he actually used to be a chemist for Big Pharma.
Uh-huh.
And until he discovered that all the drugs he was creating were actually toxins. And he said that the final straw was when he would find natural things that would cure the human body. They would hush it up and try to develop a pharmaceutical equivalent for it so they could patent it and make a bunch of money.
Uh-huh.
So he wrote this book, Natural Cures, that it is very, very informative. And I tell you, it tells you exactly the way Big Pharma thinks and the circuitous routes they go to well, you know.
I got you. They are, for all intents and purposes, working for the actual dumbing down and the numbing down of America.
Exactly. Yeah. So, especially in the brain department. Yeah.
That is the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and I can't afford that.
No. No.
But,
I have few enough cells left. I can't afford to lose any.
But I just wanted people to be aware of that book, Over the Counter Natural Cures. You can order it from Barnes
Over the Counter Natural Cures. What's his name again? Shane?
Shane Ellison. MS is what it says.
Shane Ellison. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Love you.
Welcome.
Okay.
Love you too, Mike.
Bye. Go ahead. Oh. I guess that caller couldn't hold.
Mikey, who else you got on the list over there that's it's helping out and supporting the effort?
Bill Stone over at Stone Construction. Bill is a guy who's been here in this community for, I think, 40 years doing construction. And they do everything from remodeling and light and light commercial work, custom residential, custom commercial work. They do farm work. They do concrete work. They do floors. They do framing. They do roofing. There's nothing that he doesn't do. And you guys can reach him at 293-0116. By the way, if you're planning on doing some kind of restoration or renovation, all you got to do is have him come over and give you a quote. Because what you'll find is that when a guy like Bill comes over and gives you a quote, that you'll have an opportunity to, one, hear some appropriate discussion from somebody else who's intelligent and in the business and understands and knows the ropes on it. But also, you'll have an opportunity to balance his quote against somebody else that you've gotten. I mean, when I was in a large industry, any time I ever put something out to bid, it always had to be at least 3 quotes that I got, and they had to be, objective. They couldn't be, subjective quotes. I couldn't have known the people and all that. Give yourself a fair chance and give Bill Stone at Stone Construction a chance too at 293-0116.
And then, importantly, where is it that I'm going to get something really good to eat when this show is over this morning?
You got 2 choices. Go ahead, caller, and then I'll tell you what your 2 choices are.
Yeah, Mike, on that White River National Blue Wave?
Yeah.
I called the Conservation Department yesterday, talked to the assistant director.
Bet they said they didn't ever hear of it.
Oh, no, he said he sat in on a meeting on it, and he said that he thought it was pretty benign, and I said, it's not benign, it's absolutely cancerous. And anyway, he said that he was glad I called him. He never heard of Agenda 21. I tried to explain to him. He said, he's real interested in the whole thing, but he just didn't know much about it. And the number there is 573-751-4115. And he said if I knew any more about it, he'd certainly be glad to hear about it. And I thought, well, you know more about it than I do.
573-751.
4115.
What was his name?
I didn't. His first name's Jim. He's the assistant director of the conservation department.
Okay, there you go, folks. That's a job I'm going to leave up to our audience. Get a hold of Jim over there at that department and get his email, and then send him some emails about Agenda 21 that'll wake him up. Thank you for that call. I appreciate it, and thanks for your effort.
There, Mike.
We're going to get cut off in 10 seconds.
Shannon Garrett, County Sheriff. Did you talk to him yet?
I left him a message yesterday. I'll put you on hold. Hold on one second. All right, we'll be right back, folks. You're listening to America's Voice Now.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The fight over gun rights playing out on some college campuses in Pennsylvania.
Students on at least 5 state-owned campuses are now allowed to carry guns. Complaints filed by students that they weren't permitted to pack heat were examined by state lawyers who concluded that, yes, an outright ban on weapons was likely unconstitutional.
Fox Radio's Karen McHugh.
Universities at Kutztown, Shippensburg, Edinburgh, Slippery Rock, and Millersville say they'll comply, but state system officials say slow down, telling all 14 member schools a task force is going to give the issue a second look.
And a brief evacuation this morning at the White House when an electrical transformer near the West Wing malfunctioned, setting off a smoke alarm. The White House saying the first family was unaffected. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Thanks to Jason over at Wits End Classic Barbershop for sponsoring our phone lines. You can call our Wits End Classic Barbershop hotline, and you can get over there and get yourself a shave and a haircut. 2 bits. Well, a little bit more than 2 bits. Thanks to our friends over at Pizza Hut as well. On Porter Wagoner Boulevard, they have an outstanding lunch special, and on Tuesday nights, they have Kids Eat Free. Children under 12 eat for free. They're on Porter Wagoner Boulevard in West Plains. Make sure you visit Pizza Hut. Our friends at the Battery Station, 303 Washington Avenue at batterystation.com. You can also reach them via telephone at 257-7799. Folks over at West Plains Pawn and Gun. Kenny's a friend of ours and a great supporter of our program. 417-256-3000, located about a mile and a half on Route 160 past Walmart. You can reach him also on the web at westplainspawn.com. Ozark Mountain Self-Reliance. Half-mile east of Walmart at Route 62 in Mountain Home. You can find them on the web at ozarkmtnselfreliance.com. And you can call them at 870-492-4030. My friend Mary over at Chantilly's Artisan Bakery, the best damn bakery in 100 miles. She can be reached at 417-255-2253. You can also find her at number 2 Evans Arcade. Outstanding bakery. Bill Stone over at Stone Construction at 2930116. Whether remodeling, building new, or doing some kind of custom construction like commercial or farm work, Bill's the guy for you. 2930116.
Stop and save up to $50 with Napa Know-How. Receive up to a $50 rebate Visa card by mail with qualifying brake parts purchase when you upgrade to premium or better. Stop by and ask for details. Or pick up mobile Delvac heavy-duty diesel motor oil for just $11.99 a gallon. Napa Know-How. Napa Auto Parts, 311 St. Louis Street in West Plains.
Napa Know-How. Napa Know-How. Napa Know-How. Napa Know-How.
Weather is a service of News Talk 107.1 The Point. Contact Josh or Cody at 255-2548 for more information on making weather sponsorships part of your marketing plans.
From the Point Weather Center, as we kick off the weekend, it'll be mostly sunny with a chance of late afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Our high 71. There's a chance of showers and storms into the evening. Overnight, a low around 40. Sunday should be sunny with a high of 65. Monday will start the week with sunshine and a high near 70. I'm Rod Tanner, and for more information, visit my1071thepoint.com.
Coast to Coast AM brings the Ozarks a whole new feel for radio. Midnight to 6 a.m. every night here on the Ozarks Best News Talk 107.1 The Point. Where else would you get callers talking about everything from UFOs to war trends, from mental energy to anomalies, and from lost knowledge to aliens? Listen to experts and researchers who are part of the guest list every night here on the Ozarks Best News Talk. Don't miss Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. Midnight to 6 a.m. every night here on the Ozarks Best News Talk 107.1 The Point. All
right, we're back. It's 8:34. we are winding down the end of our Saturday show, and bring on another caller. Go ahead, caller.
My son wants to know if there's any chance you could tape that meeting on next Saturday on the 18th. He's a nurse and he's on call and he cannot be there.
Oh, okay. So you mean and take it and post it up on YouTube or something?
Good.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can. Well, we can probably do that. Let me work on that.
Okay.
That's a good idea, though.
You've had a wonderful show this morning. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Go ahead, caller. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Mike. It's Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Checked my email a while ago and just had a notice that the videos were finally ready from the Firearms Freedom Symposium. Nice video of Sheriff Mack, so we'll get that to you so you can post it.
I've already posted that up.
Oh, well, I'm late.
Yeah, I posted that up a couple weeks ago.
These are new videos that just arrived.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay. All right. I had put up a series on that Firearms Festival. I put up Sheriff Mack and who was the other speaker that I put up there? I can't think of who it was. I just drawn a blank. But I posted those. But if you've got them, yeah, sure, by all means, I'll if are they edited as individuals or is it just?
Well, there was a professional, a documentary maker there who prepared these. And
well, absolutely. Shoot them over to me. Get them over to me. I'll get them right up right away.
Good. And
Sheriff Mack, by the way, is going to be speaking tonight at the Licking High School at the Lincoln Day event for Texas County, and as you know, or maybe you don't know, unless you listen every day, they're going to be holding the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Convention this month, and they're going to be holding that May 31st to June 1st. And there is a way for you to sponsor your local sheriff to attend that if you want to cover. His admission is free, but if you wanted to cover the cost of transportation and their lodging in order to get there, then you can do that. That way, there's no reason for it to impact their budget. And you can go to cspoa.org and you can make a donation. And in the subject line, when you click on that donate button, just put in for what department or city or county official that you want it to be designated for, or anyone in that department. So, and even if the sheriff can't make it, but he can send a couple of deputies or something, then it can be used to help defray their costs as well. By the way, that event is not only open to, sheriffs and law enforcement, it's open to any public official. So if you've got a prosecutor in your community, if you've got a county prosecutor or a county attorney that you want to send, if you've got a mayor that you want to send, you can do the same thing there. Make sure that you let them know that their costs will be covered, and then you can make a donation to do that. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. We have our Common Sense Property Rights Coalition meeting Monday evening.
Yes.
That is 6 o'clock at the Spring Dipper and Jill's Diner in Mammoth.
Right.
And you will be filling us or updating us on some issues, won't you?
I will. I'm going to try to come down there and talk about this Blue Ways issue that's being driven down our throats. Because for those of you who aren't aware of this Blue Ways thing, I did a show on it, I guess it was over the Friday. And I got to tell you, or Thursday, this Blue Ways thing is very, very, very dangerous to our area. They are basically taking the lower quarter of Missouri and the whole about a quarter of Arkansas, and they're putting it under federal control for everything. This is Agenda 21 being implemented as we speak. And so I'm going to encourage everybody to participate in this. Get onto our YouTube channel and capture one of the show that I did on this. It's called Blue Ways. Just type in Blue Ways on YouTube, and you'll find it.
We'll also have Susan updating us on Common
Core, yeah. That Common Core is something, folks, that we should all be working towards to get rid of.
And I'm watching you on streaming and notice the hat. I'm hoping you're going to wear that Monday night.
I might be able to arrange that.
That would be wonderful.
Thanks, Mike.
Take care.
Appreciate you. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, Michael. Sorry to bother you again this morning.
That's all right.
About the Blue Ways thing.
Yeah.
I heard part of that show yesterday. You'll forgive me. Normally I listen to your whole show before I go into work, but I couldn't get it done yesterday.
Oh, that's it. You're cut off.
Yeah, forever.
Go ahead.
Rightfully so. However, I haven't heard any comment from people that were involved in the Current River situation and the Buffalo River back when they were formed, I think that would be of some concern.
Well,
they condemned thousands of acres of land
yeah,
by eminent domain and bought what they couldn't, and some people they had to set up life leases with, which are coming up
for expiration, not renewal, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think some of the property rights groups are behind or aware of this. I spoke to a state senator yesterday, and I made him aware of it. And, with this anti-Agenda 21 bill that's sitting on Governor Nixon's desk, if he signs that, it should be a fairly short hop, skip, and a jump for us to incorporate this Blue Ways project and tie the two together, because Obama's own quote is that this is the brand new initiative agenda for the 21st century. I don't know how much closer you can get to Agenda 21 than saying that. And so our hope is that we can get this legislation signed, get it passed, and then make sure that we are tying Blue Ways to that and making it clear to the federal government that we're nullifying any Blue Ways conservation nonsense they plan on shoveling down our throats.
But if you look at the combined area of these watersheds,
it's 18 million acres.
States, yeah.
18 million acres, folks.
Huge.
Yep, it is a massive, massive piece of real estate, and it will impact every person who lives within that region. Every single one. It runs all the way from Springfield, all the way out almost to Jefferson, almost as far north as Jefferson City, as far east as the Boot Heel, and then it runs all the way down and encompasses all of that same area in Arkansas, all the way down to the Mississippi River. It is
the Buffalo, man.
It's dangerous. So, and it will destroy the area that we have, here for our rivers, because what their goal is to turn those rivers into, pristine wildlife areas, which means that anyone who lives near, in, or around them will be, for all intents and purposes, so limited in what they can do with their own property that they may as well be banished into outer darkness.
And a lot of that land had been in families for generations.
Not any longer. Not if they have their way.
Yeah.
So, hey, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
That's the government in your knickers again.
Again, yeah. So when you folks drop off of our show, there's two places that you can go and catch something to eat. There's actually three, but one of them you got to cook at yourself. You can go to Chantilly's Artisan Bakery and see my friend Mary over there. Mary is at number 2 Evans Arcade, and she is an absolute wonderful lady, and she is smart and vibrant and funny, and not only that, she's the best damn bakery that you're going to find in 100 miles. You can find her at number 2 Evans Arcade, right off the square in West Plains, or you can call her at 255-2253. Make sure that you give a shout out to her. If you go in there, tell her, and any other vendor, by the way, that you go to that's an advertiser and a sponsor of our program, make sure that you tell them that Mike sent me from America's Voice, because it helps them know where their advertising dollar is going, but it also gives them the assurance that you're a fellow listener and a fellow, patriot. And then the other place that you can go is over to Pizza Hut over on Porter Wagoner, and they have an awesome salad bar for lunches. They have on Tuesday nights they have family night where you can bring the kids. Kids eat free. I think it's under 13, and Pizza Hut is just, they've got all kinds of cool pizza, of course, but in addition to that, they have these brand new wings. They have I think it's 30 different categories of wings sauces that you can get. And so if you get in there, by the way, ask for Bree as your server. She's a friend of mine. She's my daughter, actually, and she'll be more than happy to take good care of you, and tell her dad said hi, and make sure that you get in, and when you get in there, ask for Bree. And during the day they have a lunch special, so you can go in there and it's a flat price. It's salad bar and pizza, and it includes the full salad bar. But they also have 8 or 10 different variants of pizza and some pasta and stuff out there, so you can get something that tastes good and something that's good for you simultaneously. Also, make sure that you see Kenny over at West Plains Pawn and Gun. He is got, it's 400 guns or something in there. And if you're looking for a good firearm and a good deal on one, if you're looking for accessories, optics, ammunition, reloading supplies, go see Kenny over at West Plains Pawn and Gun. He's located on 160, past Walmart, about a mile or so. Look on the right-hand side, near the bowling alley there.
Look for the buffalo.
Look for the giant buffalo out front, yeah. And it's
not that I go there anytime.
It's a big statue, And it's also a pawn shop, so they've got jewelry in there, and they've got tools and computers and all kinds of other stuff. But definitely a good place for you to go, and encourage you to do that. So the other guy I want you to go see is my friend Jason over at Wits End Classic Barbershop. He cuts my hair every week, and not that I have that much left to cut, but I make him work at it, and he does a great job. It's $10 for a haircut, guys. I mean, the old adage of 2 bits and a haircut. It actually is 2 bits if you give him silver. Because that's
Sweet.
about what 2 quarters are worth these days.
There you go.
And he'll probably take silver if you gave it to him. But make sure you see Jason. He is a brilliant, sharp young guy. He's a patriotic-minded fella. I go in there sometimes just to have some good conversation and fun. And, maybe I'll meet you in there. So do yourself a favor. Get over to see Jason at the Wits End Classic Barbershop over on the square in West Plains. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment, and then I've got a contest to discuss.
The area's best selection of firearms and ammunition can only be found at West Plains Pawn and Jewelry. Top-of-the-line handguns from Kimber, Smith & Wesson, Ruger, Glock, Beretta, and many more. A wide selection of ammunition, including blanks, centerfire handgun and rifle, rimfire, a variety of shotgun shells, target, and turkey. With new arrivals every week, the area's best selection of firearms and ammunition can only be found at West Plains Pawn and Jewelry, 1713 West U.S. Highway 160, or shop online at westplainspawn.com.
The best shows in Branson are now playing at the Americana Theater. Don't miss 3 redneck tenors, Branson's new smash hit, down-home laughs, and big city voices. It's a hilarious musical adventure that you just have to see. Also at the Americana Theater, Todd Oliver and his Talking Dogs. That's right, Talking Dogs. Hilarious comedy, great music, and family fun. A top 10 finalist on America's Got Talent, make sure to see Todd Oliver and Friends. If you want to rock and roll, check out Joseph Hall's Elvis Rock and Remember tribute. Joseph Hall will blow you away as Elvis, and his band is absolutely smoking. For you early birds, wake up with Cassandra and Friends. She plays at 10 a.m. with Branson's largest live band. Enjoy Cassandra's stunning voice and great comedy as well. The best shows in Branson are at the Americana Theater. Visit theamericanatheater.com for more information. That's theamericanatheater.com. in Branson, Missouri.
Don't miss the Kabul Area Farm Fest and Outdoors in the Ozarks Expo. Bring the whole family. Parking and admission are free. Friday and Saturday, May 10th and 11th. There will be a 3D bow shoot with classes for men, women, and youth. Over $600 in prizes. Plus a kids zone with jump houses, carnival games, cotton candy, and all kinds of giveaways. Sponsored by South Central MFA, Farmers Ag Center, and Shoot the Breeze Firearms. Go to the Kabul Chamber Grounds, 310 Canada Lane, 417-962-3002, or go to kabulmo.org.
All right. I'm going to announce a contest that we're going to do here. For those of you who are actually watching on streaming video, I'm wearing this tinfoil hat, which a friend of mine made for me, because, you know, I always tease about the fact that we're always accused of being out there and wearing these tinfoil hats. And so I'm going to announce a contest, and here's what we're going to do. Here's the contest. This is a Design a Tinfoil Hat contest. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to model every one. We're going to put them all up on the website. And then the visitors to the website get to choose which is the winner hat.
And that's going to become the official America's Voice Now tinfoil hat?
I may wear them at alternating times because I'm telling you, I'm going to do these 5-minute YouTube clips, because one complaint I get all the time is, your show's too long. I don't want to waste an hour watching it. Blah blah. You know, the American public's got an 8-second,
right,
attention span, right?
Of a 5-year-old.
So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to create these tinfoil hat segments, these 4 or 5 minute tinfoil hat segments, but I'll talk very rationally, but I'll wear the hat.
Okay. Now, we're going
to wear different hats, but the winner of this hat will win this new book by Glenn Beck, Control, and it's all about gun control, exposing the truth about guns. But in addition to that, they're going to win a T-shirt that will have America's Voice emblazoned on it. And so It'll be the only thing is that I'm working on getting those T-shirts printed, but it's going to take us a little while to get these hats in for the contest. And so what you're going to have to do is you've got to design a hat that is a tinfoil hat that expresses the whole concept of the tinfoil hat crowd, right? Because years ago when you were a conspiracy theorist, which is now, those people are now known as prophets. Many of them, at any rate. People accused you of wearing a tinfoil hat. So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually become the tinfoil hat brigade. And so
I like it.
I want to wear your tinfoil hat.
Now,
I want you to be creative. I want you to be ingenious. It's got to be wearable. It's got to be wearable. But here's the deal. You've not only got to design and build this hat, and then you got to get it to us so that I can model it and we can take a photograph of it and have the voters decide on which is the winning hat. But you've also got to give us at least like a 3x5 card that explains whether this hat is to keep the Vigo waves out or to draw the Vigo waves in and act as an antenna. There is no such thing as Vigo waves, folks, but you get the idea. I made that up.
Now, what's your hat size, Mike?
Big.
Are we talking about 7.5, 7 5/8?
Yeah, it's like a 7.
Because it's got to fit.
You're right. Yeah. It's like a 7 7/8. I do have a big head.
Man, you're Bobo Big Head.
I am. I'm telling you.
Man,
and
it's keeping all those brains in there.
No, it's actually that's what gives me this deep resonant voice. See, it just rattles around in there for a few seconds and then comes out, and it's got all this resonance to it. So here's the deal. You've got to create and design a hat, and then you've got to give us a 3x5 card explanation of
this is how the hat works.
This is how the hat works, and it's to either act as a reception, as a receiver, or it's got to act as a blocker of liberal thought and progressive
Vigo waves.
Diarrhea. And I want our listeners to get creative. This is something we can have a lot of fun doing. I know that this show very often is deadly serious, right? But you know what? We're allowed to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to do it with this adventure right here. I want you to design a hat that I can wear, and I'm going to wear it. I'm going to wear it on a routine basis doing these YouTube short clips. And so here's the deal. You got to create a hat. I'm going to give you the address where you can send a hat to. You can send it to America's Voice Now, and the address that you're going to send it to is number 10, just 10, Court Square. That's Court, like a courthouse, Court Square, and that's in West Plains, Missouri, 65775.
Oh, could they drop it off?
You can drop it off too. If you don't have to mail it, of course, but if somebody wants to mail it in because they're listening from the hinterlands or outer Mongolia or someplace, they can send it in by a Mongolian FedEx.
Like they're down in Arkanistan,
or in Missouristan.
There you go.
I don't care where you are from. I don't care. We have listeners who stream the show, and they're probably laughing their butts off right now all over the country because we have folks that watch and listen to this show from Philadelphia, from New York, from New Jersey, from Connecticut. We have folks from Florida. We have folks from Michigan. We have folks from California, Washington, Colorado.
That's a gorgeous hat, by the way. I'm jealous.
You should be jealous. You should be jealous. And if you're watching this streaming video now, I'll tell you what, you're in for a real treat because I look like an absolute buffoon. So here you get a chance to see me make an idiot out of myself wearing my tinfoil hat. So here's the deal, folks. You've got an opportunity to participate in this cool little idea we've got. What we're going to do is create a contest. The prize is going to be the book from Glenn Beck called Control. And that we're going to incorporate that also with a T-shirt and America's Voice Now shirt.
Now, what time frame do we have to get the hats in?
I'm going to say that we should run this until let's say June 1st.
Okay.
All right. So by June 1st is the cutoff. You've got to have your hat in our hands by June 1st, and then we'll take a picture of every single one. I'll wear them during the show a few times, and then we'll start doing these short escapade videos. Go ahead, caller. Welcome to the show.
I've just got a quick, simple question.
Fire away.
Is that your natural voice, or did you have to take voice lessons for that?
This is my natural God-given voice.
God-given thing. Okay.
God-given thing.
All righty. I was just curious about that.
No,
Maybe you had enhanced it through training.
I've never taken voice lessons.
Okay.
Never.
Good answer.
Thank you. All right, folks, so here's the deal. This is a contest that we can have a lot of fun with. So I want your creativity and your ingenuity. You can do it as a team, or you can work by yourself. You know, if you're one of them loner types, you know, one of them far-right extremist loners, I'll even accept for the lone wolf.
They're down in Arkanistan.
Yeah, the Arkanistan lone wolves. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Mike and Mike, real quick. Can we refer to the Saturday show from now on as the Tinfoil Geek and Mike Walters Show?
Wow. Only if you're a member of the Tinfoil Brigade. And by the way, that would be Tinfoil General Geek to you, okay? Tinfoil Brigadier.
Tinfoil. Hey, I'll let you go.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, folks, let's have some fun with this. I really would like to see some creative designs come out of you guys. We have a lot of listeners who are creative people. This is something that won't cost you anything to do. You know, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care. It's got to be wearable. You know, there's very few rules here, but it's got to be wearable. It's got to fit my big head, which is about 7 7/8 or something. I think that's the normal hat size I wear.
Wow.
And, yeah, it's a big hat. And it's got to be sent in to us by June 1st. And the prize will be the book Glenn Beck's Control, Exposing the Truth About Guns, and a T-shirt from America's Voice Now. All right?
Hey, we just had a good idea, by the way. If people want to get an idea of how big your head is, if they go to the grocery store and they get like a giant honeydew melon, if it'll fit a giant honeydew melon.
Let me tell you, I got a little motorcycle, and I got a hard time finding a helmet that fits my head. And you got to wear one, because if you don't, you get a ticket. You know, it's like an open invitation to get pulled over and beaten up over it.
Right.
So I'm telling you, I got a big head, which is why I don't generally wear hats. I just can't find any that fit me.
Man.
So, but
You're
anyway,
gonna find some now, buddy.
Well, you know, and you know what? Here's the deal, folks. Don't be afraid to make it too big, because if it is, I'll just like tape a little felt in the inside or something like that to make it fit, so that I can actually wear it. Because I'm going to wear these hats on air, and I'm going to wear them for the photograph. So, you know, you want recognition for your creative design, right? And you never know. I mean, this might be something, you know, like it might be a whole new industry for you.
It could launch a career.
Well, it could not only launch a career, but we might actually launch an entire product line, right? The America's Voice Now tinfoil hat product line.
Now, would that be great to be able to, like a year from now, go to a political rally at the State House or something?
See thousands of them?
That's right. Thousands of people wearing tinfoil hats.
Right. July 4th on our March on Washington, when, you know, millions of Americans are down there, they could all be wearing these tinfoil hats. So to describe this one, this is like a top hat, and it's got two gigantic cone antennas that stick off the sides, and it's got a flag sticking up right at the top, but the flag is upside down because it's a reference to our nation in distress. And so,
boy, TSA's going to love it.
Oh my goodness, I should wear one of these when I go on a flight, right? Could you imagine the guy at the TSA who's got a, you know, could you imagine the pat down I'd get that day?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They'd have to get out the special little scope thing, okay?
Right.
Would you bend over, Mr.
Right.
Evans?
For you, sir, we've got to do a cavity search. Oh my goodness, I could see it all now. Especially with a flag in distress. Although most of the TSA slugs out there are probably not smart enough to know what a flag in distress signal means. So otherwise they'd be wearing one every day. Folks, today is our Make a Hat Day. We're going to run this contest. You can mail this hat into number 10 Court Square in West Plains. And the zip code here is 65775. You can send me an email and let me know that you're going to be a contestant. You can send an email to mike@americasvoicenow.org. That's mike@americasvoicenow.org. I don't want to see a picture of it early. Don't tip your hand. I want to be surprised. So don't send me plans and ask for my opinion. This is purely on you.
And instruction cards.
And instructions cards. It's got to have the card, the 3x5, that tells me what the hat does and how to use it. All right. We're wrapping up for the day. This is America's Voice Now. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/America's Voice Now. And at americasvoicenow.org. Have a great day.
The Ozarks' best news talk, KBMV Birch Tree.